Good evening. Welcome to Land Title Talk, where we encourage you to text in with your questions or comments at 904-501-4481, 904-501-4481, and we'll read your questions live on air, or we'll discuss them the following week. But get your questions in. You can also catch us on YouTube at Land Title Talk or the 904 app, the 904 Now app, where you can watch the show live and also watch the other shows that the 904 Now app has to provide. Very good shows. I'm Steve Collins from Land Title of America, and I have my distinguished guest with me all the time, my dear brother Rusty Collins from the law office of J. Russell Collins, affectionately known as Rusty Law. And then we have from Rusty Law's office, Dr. Ben. Say hi, Dr. Ben.
Hello.
And then we have always with us Julie. We're really thankful for Julie keeping us in line, looking up things on the fly. And then always have Blake and behind the scenes. Thank you, Blake. But so, Rusty, what's going on in your world?
You ever think you could go to DMV, get a duplicate driver's license, drive around and get pulled over and find out it was suspended before you got the duplicate driver's license?
That's confusing.
Had a client, we had a DUI case. It was their first time DUI. So they get, we call it DRPA. I don't even know what DRPA stands for, but basically it's a wet, reckless, you don't get convicted of DUI.
Okay.
You take a lot of the same sanctions, like you got to pay the fines, you got to do them. There's a MAD, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving Impact Panel, and there's DUI course and some other things, and you're on probation while you do it. And the court does not suspend your driver's license. But
Under DRPA.
On DRPA, yeah.
Okay.
But
we don't know what that stands for.
I don't know what it stands for.
Just
never heard what it was standing for, but you know.
That's where Julie looks it up for us.
And then, but if the court doesn't suspend your driver's license, well, when you get a DUI ticket, your driver's license is taken from you immediately. You're given your ticket is actually your driver's license for 10 days.
Is it?
Yes, that is your replacement driver's license for 10 days because, remember, we don't know if you're DUI or not, right?
Right.
That's number one. Number two, we don't take things away from people without what?
Due process.
Due process. So you have 10 days to ask for an administrative hearing with the DMV to see if your license is going to be suspended.
Wow.
Okay. And some people strategically, they ask for the administrative hearing because it takes 20 or 30 days to get that, and your license is not suspended while that's in process.
So if I get the ticket for DUI, which would be nearly impossible since I don't drink, but if
you had a pain pill,
okay, driving while under the influence, I guess DUI,
impaired,
driving while impaired, not not intoxicated.
Yeah,
is it that so? All right, so I get that ticket. That ticket gives me the right to drive for 10 days.
That's correct.
But I can't get a hearing for 30.
Well, if you make the application for the hearing, okay, then your driver's license is still active, or that.
Well, how do you make application for the hearing?
There's a form.
You just go to the court?
No, it's
or hire a good attorney.
Yeah, that one.
Probably hire a good attorney.
Right, hire a good attorney. Yes.
Okay. You wouldn't.
I wouldn't do it myself.
Okay, you wouldn't do it by yourself.
Okay, I mean, I had a client who was it's been a long time ago, was pulled over. He pulled out of a bar, but he had just dropped somebody off or picked somebody up. I think he dropped somebody off.
Okay.
Okay, he hadn't been drinking. It pulled him over because they targeted him because he pulled out of a bar. Nobody does.
They just targeted him. He wasn't driving.
He wasn't
crazy.
driving erratically.
They just said, "Hey, he drove out of a bar. Let's test him."
Well, let's just put it this way.
And this is in Florida.
This is Jacksonville.
Okay.
Okay, they pulled him over.
I didn't know you could do that.
No, but they can they can do a pretextual stop, like you didn't turn your blinker on, you didn't slow down quick enough.
Okay, but what?
You blinked while you were driving, whatever.
I mean, can cops do that?
They can figure out a way to do it. Yeah.
Can I call them cops, please?
Yeah, law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
Anyway, nobody does really great on field sobriety, of course.
Why?
Because they're divided attention tests.
Yeah, but if you're totally sober, come on, dude. You're going to pass a sobriety test.
No, you're not.
Dude, Rusty,
do you follow instructions really well the first time?
come on now.
Do you
You're
follow it?
taking
No,
the,
we-
you're
we
taking
all know
the
that.
victims
No.
side of this.
Of course I am.
But you got to take your attorney out of it. There's no reason why you would not pass a sobriety test.
Okay.
Seriously, if you're
As
totally,
somebody,
if you're
as
totally
somebody
coherent,
who, no, you wouldn't pass. There's no way.
that, you know what? That's
You're
garbage
outside.
talk.
There's cars
It's
driving
garbage
by.
talk.
You're kind of scared. You're nervous. Okay. And the deputy's giving you instructions that they say, stand here, don't move before I tell you to go. Okay. And then they give you instructions. You already got the instructions in your head. And like a lot of men like you and I, you would just start going, right? You're going to fail.
I am not
They're gonna
giving
take
into that because
12
I have more faith in my law enforcement. I don't think that they're just going to pull me over so that I can fail a sobriety test.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is you don't have to do it. Did you know that?
If you don't do the sobriety test, then what?
If they feel like they have probable cause, they're going to arrest you. But what are they using the sobriety test for?
To determine
arrest
whether-
you.
To arrest you. So
Right.
either way, you're getting arrested.
Pretty much. If they ask you to do field sobriety and you say no, they're going to arrest you. If you do the field sobriety and you haven't been practicing, you're going to fail it. That's my opinion. Now,
I severely disagree with your opinion.
that's okay. You're allowed to. Okay, they had a trial here, it's been several years ago, where the defense attorney asked the deputy to do the field sobriety exercises, and the deputy
Come
who was
on,
good
dude.
at giving the instructions failed. He fell over, and he lost his balance and fell over.
All right.
Now the
Was he
horizontal.
drinking?
What's that?
Was he drinking?
Yeah, maybe so.
Now the horizontal gaze and stigmas test is, if it's done right, is a very good indicator.
But all you got to do is breathe, right? I guess not because
I mean, breathe. That has nothing.
breathalyzer, but I guess the DUI doesn't
Okay.
have to be. They can
Well,
think that you're under the influence
so-
of some kind of
Right.
opiates.
So
So that's not going to.
it used to be, though, they had to take you into they have to arrest you first. There is no requirement to do anything prior to being arrested. Okay, if you do field sobriety, it is voluntary. You may not feel like it's voluntary, but it's voluntary.
It's hard to remember that. I mean, we want to be law-abiding citizens, and if an officer asks us to do something, we want to do it. What would you do? So, if, let's say a cop pulls me over. Excuse me, law enforcement pulls me over, and they say we want to do.
You've got bloodshot, watery eyes.
I could have been playing music.
I smell alcohol.
Okay, what if they don't say any of that?
Well, they probably won't be doing anything to pull you over. I mean, I'm not be doing anything to think you're impaired, okay? Because almost every police report I read about this, bloodshot, watery eyes, always, okay?
Well, I could be coming
Slur
back from a
speech.
gig where they had smoke in the room.
Okay,
I mean,
slur
I could smell like
speech.
smoke, and
You can smell like alcohol too.
I could.
I've been known somebody spilled something on the ground and you walked through it.
Okay.
Okay. So, and that's fine. Look, I don't want impaired people driving. I really don't. I drive on these roads.
I get it.
And my wife drives on these roads.
Right.
Okay. So I don't want accidents. Okay. But remember, our rights as citizens are opposed to law enforcement trying to find crime. Right now. So anyway, so my guy nobody does good on field sobriety. And they want him, so they take him back. He blows zeros.
All right.
Okay? He blows zeros. What happens if you blow zeros? Then what?
I don't know. I would think they'd let you go.
No.
Why?
Because
Because why?
they still think you're impaired. You can be impaired and blow under 0.08.
Well, take a blood test.
Well, let's say we don't want to go to the hospital and do a blood test. What else can we do?
What can I say? I want to go to the hospital, take a blood
You
test?
can.
Okay.
Urine.
There
They
you
can
go.
ask for urine.
Okay, urine. Yes.
Okay?
Fine.
Because they figure if it's not alcohol, it's got to be marijuana or something, right?
Okay. There's a lot of gummies going on out there. I could
Okay,
see
yeah.
there could be an impaired driver without.
Have
Thank
you
you.
ever heard of a thing called a shy bladder?
I have one of those.
You
When I
can't pee in public?
Well, that and also when the lady comes to your house and says, "Hey, we're doing this, test," and they take your blood and they say, "Pee in this cup." I'm like, I guess not.
I mean, there are people who have a shy bladder such that if they go to the theater, they can't pee there.
Okay.
Okay, if there's anybody else close by or around, they can't pee there. Well, my guy had a shy bladder, so we had to have a. We did the They were saying you were refusing a chemical test, so your license is suspended automatically for 1 year.
Wow.
So we contested that, and we were able to beat that. But anyway, so lots of things happen on DUI.
But,
my guy,
and I know you want to get to your story, but you got to understand you're upsetting me a little bit.
Why?
Because I have such faith in law enforcement. I do. I trust my law enforcement.
You've never seen law enforcement say something that wasn't true on a
No, I haven't.
I have.
I know you have.
Okay.
I know you have.
You've never seen them.
I know you have.
Put something down one way and then come testify
Yeah, but it's
another way.
normally people you're representing that they've got a history with the law anyhow.
And how does that change the facts?
I understand that doesn't change the facts, but it does.
They deserve less.
affect.
They deserve less due process and justice.
Yes, because they're
because they're bad.
they're habitual offenders.
We should just go to their house in the middle of the night and take them out.
Exactly. No,
Okay.
I know that's not the case, but it's
Just because they think you're bad doesn't make you bad.
I know, but these people you're talking about normally are people who've given reason for law enforcement to doubt their honesty or doubt their
Wait a minute, but it's the
validity.
law enforcement officer that writes it down
I get it. I get it.
improperly
I get
or
it.
makes it up.
I get it.
Okay. I've seen it happen.
I get it.
I've actually had cases dismissed because of it. But the point is, in my case we're talking about,
All right, we'll get to that.
so your
I
driver's
just-
license is automatically suspended.
All right, suspended for
180 days by DMV for being pulled over for DUI. Okay, because you don't take advantage of the administrative hearing, they automatically suspend it. Now you can also have a suspension from the court too. And if you
that 180 days is just until you have a hearing.
no, that 180 days is before you can get your driver's license back unless you get a hardship. Okay,
Okay.
and you can get the hardship if you do certain things. I mean, look, we do want
Others said it was a year.
if you do not blow.
Okay.
Or do not give urine if they want it, then you lose it for a year. And the first time, it's okay. You take the sanction of the extra time. Second time is actually a misdemeanor. Okay.
Which
Okay.
means
Which means it's a criminal charge in and of itself.
Okay.
It has extra sanctions.
Okay.
Okay. So, again, these are the things that happen. But the license was suspended by DMV. It says it was suspended on March the 24th.
okay.
So he can get his driver's license back after September 24th. All right.
Okay.
So we have our hearing, I think April 6th or something. Okay.
Okay.
And I tell him when we're done, you need to go get yourself an ID. You need to get your ID. Go
not
to,
a driver's license,
not a
but
driver,
an
go
ID.
get your ID.
Okay.
So I'm not sure the day he goes, but it's after a couple days. He gets a ride, goes over there to get his ID.
Important. He got a ride.
Yeah, do not drive.
Do not drive there.
Do not drive to DMV if your license is suspended because
they'll get you.
They will watch you leave, and if you drive, you will not get off the asphalt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you will, but it's going to be to go across the street to the jail. Okay. Just don't do it. I have had a cousin.
We've had a cousin drive
My
up
first
to get.
time in felony court was because of a cousin who went to DMV to make sure that his information agreed with what he thought was true, except for the part where he drove to court
Right.
that day. And I had another one who did the same kind of thing. And anyway, so my guy goes to get an ID. They give him a driver's license. What is your assumption?
That my license is, I'm good.
My license is good.
Right. Well, about
She's
a
like,
week.
yippee yay.
Yeah. I guess the DRPA thing worked.
No, I would have thought that. I could see how I would think that too.
Well, a week or so ago, he was pulled over. Why was he
For?
pulled over?
Mhm.
Plate scanners, tag scanners.
And
The owner of this car's license is suspended.
okay,
Okay.
so if I was driving, it'd be fine. They'd still pull me over.
Oh, you get
check my
pulled
ID.
over. Yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, I have a client who is the DUI case, and we haven't finished it yet, but the car that he's not driving, that his wife is driving, that has his name on the tag, she's getting pulled over left and right. Until they say, well, that doesn't look like a guy.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
Yeah, you never know these days.
yeah. Well, anyway, so he was surprised.
Yeah.
They gave me a driver's license.
Yeah, I could see that being I could see how that would happen.
So we did a notice of appearance. His first hearing was supposed to be today, but I did what's called a notice of appearance and a plea of not guilty. And so they set us a new hearing date, and the new hearing date is like October 10th or October 8th.
So can he get a license?
He'll have his driver's license by then.
But by when?
By probably the 25th
of
September.
Okay.
So he can drive to the hearing.
He can drive to the hearing legally.
Okay, good.
Don't want to miss those.
He can drive to the hopefully he can drive legally. But
what do you mean hopefully? He will be able to drive legally. 24th.
As long as they didn't get another DUI, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Anyway, so he could drive, and we're going to see if we can't get some kind of something that's not a driving while license suspended. A lot of times, if you get charged with driving while license suspended and you have a driver's license by the time you go to court, you can get what's called a no valid license, which is not a crime. That's a civil infraction like a speeding ticket.
Okay.
Or maybe just say, look, he didn't know. They gave him a driver's license after he was done with court.
But why did they? Oh, we already answered that question. I apologize.
I think the DM, even though his license record says it was suspended on 3/24 at 4/8 or 4 whatever, whenever he went to court, the computer didn't say his license was suspended.
Just a human error.
I don't know. I have no idea, but I would think I would like to think that justice would say, yeah, we'll give you a mulligan on that one. Anyway, so that's sermon over.
Well, it's not necessarily a sermon. I mean, it's some interesting information that I find it disturbing that I could get pulled over, and you're telling me that if they ask me to do a sobriety test, that your opinion, Rusty,
you're getting arrested.
That I know I've learned over the years that you will take a side. If I could take the attorney,
how are you going to talk him out of it?
You're not.
There you go.
But I think
no, how are you going to talk him out of it? If they think you're impaired and they want you to prove that you're not by doing this, the only reason they're having you do it, and where are they going to have you do it?
On the street.
In front of
the whole world.
And their camera. The whole purpose of that is to gather evidence for trial.
So your opinion is, see, man, Rusty, I would have never thought I would hear you say this. Your opinion is, I get pulled over, they ask me to do a sobriety test, my answer should be no.
I will not do field sobriety.
And now listen, okay, that's your counsel to me.
Yeah.
Mr. Attorney.
I will blow,
but I will not do a sobriety test.
I will blow, I'll pee, and you can take my blood. Problem is, with the blood, it takes too long to get the results back. It takes a long time to get the results back.
All right. So I get pulled over.
Now,
I refuse to do the sobriety test.
One night I was pulled over.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And the only reason was I'd crossed the center line. Okay. Which is,
pretty normal for you.
Well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. See, it's okay to drive while tired. I'm tired. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, you can drive while tired. You're not impaired by a chemical.
Okay.
Maybe a lack of caffeine, but you're not impaired by a chemical.
Okay.
Okay. So,
so that's not a crime. Driving while tired.
Yeah, it's not. The deputy pulled me over, and I was already. Ain't no way I'm doing anything that's field sobriety, because I call those silly pet tricks.
All right.
Okay. But he knew it instantly. I was not impaired, but I was tired, and I was almost home. Mm-hmm. So I was always convinced that I don't care how I look, and you and I have never had a beer. Okay.
No, that's one thing we can say we've never had.
That's right. So
we're boring like that, Ben.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but anyway, I just knew that they would say I had bloodshot, watery eyes and strong odor of alcohol, but they didn't.
Okay.
They knew instantly. Okay. But if you start slurring your speech or not enunciating or whatever, you can get yourself. But I would never do field sobriety exercises.
Okay. They're going to arrest you then.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to arrest you anyway.
You go to jail.
Yeah.
They process you.
You'll get out in the morning.
Your picture.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make it on the papers?
They're not. Our website's not public anymore.
It's not?
No.
No. They took it down. Now other counties are up, but for some reason St. John's taking it down.
It was
So Jacksonville.
people were creating fraud based on the people being arrested and posted.
Okay. You're in Duval County.
Nice elevator.
Is their arrest log public?
Last time I checked, it was.
So somebody who wants to have fun with that, attorney from St. Johns County arrested for DUI.
Okay.
Can you imagine how much trouble that would cause you, even though it's false?
It's true. I was arrested. The arrest
Yes,
is true.
but how much political backlash would you get for that?
Let me tell you about something. Something I did not know that is a fairly new law is that when you're found not guilty,
Yes.
it used to be you'd have to seal the case. You
Okay.
have to do an application for sealing.
You'd have to make application for the sealing. They wouldn't automatically do it.
I think now they're starting to do it automatically.
You said an interesting word, I think.
Well, let's put it
I've
this way.
learned from you
Well,
never
look,
to accept that.
Okay, well, here's the deal. I had a case. It was the guy in Middleburg, okay? The stalking charge
Yes.
with that case was dismissed because we had a valid, they couldn't meet the elements, okay? It wasn't stalking. So almost immediately, that case disappeared. I couldn't find it. I had just had access to it.
Well, that's good.
It disappeared.
That's good.
It was sealed.
That's good. But the damage is done. This is why, just giving in to being arrested.
Better people than you've been arrested.
Well, yes. But when you own a business or you have a certain image, nobody gets the redaction, Rusty.
I understand. Front page news and then back page retraction or back page innocent or whatever.
So I'd like to try not to get arrested as much as possible.
Okay, well, then don't drive. Don't do anything. There's always a risk.
I understand that, but a sobriety test, you're telling me I'm not going to pass, and I'm going to challenge you. We're going to do a live video. Land Title Talk does a sobriety test.
I got the cones. Garage. I'll bring some cones.
No, I want to get a real officer.
Guess what? We
I want
got
to get
one
a
in
real
the
officer.
family.
We
do.
can do this. When I was a student at Flagler, I literally did an entire DUI course with
How to drink and not get caught.
professors and students and people in town.
I think.
So we
What do
could
you think of the Field Sobriety Test?
I would never do it. I have too many friends that have done it and not passed, but they had reason not to pass.
There's a good reason.
My friends have had a beer.
I want to discuss why you would do it if you're not impaired. I would like to test that. Joel, I'm going to put that
Let's
on
do
your
it.
task of
Okay.
of
Well,
things
I can
to
just
do.
tell
Okay.
you got to do it when there's stress.
No, listen, I get it.
Because
we can create
a
the
lot of
stress.
I get it. We'll make
All right.
we'll make a consequence. If I don't pass this field sobriety test, I get to try a taser. Okay? So
well, I don't think that's going to
I'll
work.
bring the taser.
listen, they do
I
that
don't
all the
think-
time, right?
I don't know. No, that's when you're being trained. I don't think we can get our
I want to
friends.
get my taser certification. If
I
I
don't
don't
think-
pass this field sobriety test, you can tase me. There's stress.
I don't think we're going to bring in the girl that we know, the lady that we know that's a deputy, and she's going to hit you with a taser even with permission.
She'd probably love it.
Oh, she would, but she ain't going to do it.
I'm
It's a
thinking
sign of
this
release.
is an adjunct to the Florida Man games. Hold on.
I can just tell you that at nighttime on the side of the road, when you're under the stress of lights, people driving by.
We live in a big little town, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that happened to you? It happened to one of my friends.
Was he impaired?
No.
Okay.
He made the mistake of being in the public shopping center. You know this case.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a stop sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody's walking, right? It's after hours. That stop sign only applies when people are there walking, right?
It only applies with stop signs that don't have don't have the white
but I
word.
can
Those
see
are
why
optional.
he did that. It's like it's 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
That stop sign, there's nobody walking.
And
It's
it's
right
private
there in the
property
middle.
too.
It's private.
It is private property.
Yeah.
So he just, and he's driving the speed limit, going slow. some cop pulls him over.
Mm-hmm.
What does the cop say?
Have you been drinking?
No, sir.
Oh, what does it say? License, registration?
Well, he said that, but he said, can I check your car? And what did he say?
Hell no.
No. He said, I've done that to hide. Sure.
You don't know what fell off somebody's
gave
shoe.
consent.
He gave consent.
Idiot.
Rusty.
Never consent.
No, listen, I'm like he is. I trust my law enforcement.
Okay.
Okay. And when they inspected his car, they found what? It's hydrocodones
Okay.
for his wife.
Okay. Was it in a bottle with her name on it?
No.
Nope. There you should never
That's the
carry
problem. Baggy.
controlled
problem.
substances
Yeah.
without the bottle.
But she had it in there as she had her bottle at home, but she had some extras in the car just in case.
That might be a defense, but it's not keeping you from being arrested.
But you know what? Even though he got off of it, he still got arrested. Where do you think his front? This is back when it was still in the paper. Front page.
It's not front page, second page.
Okay, you know what I mean.
Inside of the second page or first page.
It looked horrible because what did the paper say?
It just says he was arrested for this. Doesn't say why. It just says he was arrested, charged with X.
Yeah,
Okay.
devastating.
Can be.
So you know
Don't do
this
anything.
whole Field.
Okay, if you do field sobriety and you screw up, even if you blow zeros and you come up nothing in your urine, you can still be convicted.
I still say I disagree with you. Try the Field Sobriety. We're going to try this.
Okay.
We're going to
We'll
try
do it.
this because I'm going
I
to
got
tell
it.
you, getting arrested is not acceptable for someone like us.
Okay, we need to hit you at the end
Someone
of the
like
show.
Ben, Dr. Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, just getting arrested and having that plastered all over the place, that ain't going to do any good for you.
No, but here's the thing. We need to get you after you've done a show.
Okay, after I've done a gig.
After you've done a gig and you're tired.
Okay, I'm exhausted. I've loaded up my equipment. I'm hot and sweaty.
That's right.
Okay, I'm high on life.
And ready to go to bed.
Ready to go to bed.
All right?
Okay.
Well, I guess we move on, but that's I find this topic very disturbing if you haven't noticed.
Well, that's why we have due process. That's why we have a Fourth Amendment. That's why we have these things to protect us.
right.
Again, we want law enforcement to find and help prosecute crime, right?
Right.
That is our public policy. We
Right.
pay them money to do that. And we have good deputies here,
We have great deputies. here.
okay? You know, and none of them are perfect. They can make a mistake. They can think something, they can see something that you and I see, and their spidey sense goes up, okay? That spidey sense is really opposed to our Fourth Amendment rights, okay? But we still want the spidey sense because that training is very important. It might be important to save the life too, or
Right.
maybe some citizen. So, but that's the give and take of our legal system, which I think is very, very, I think it's balanced for the most part. So just, you know,
It's definitely above a lot of others in the world as far as legal system goes. You know, now the one thing you mentioned about the pills, I've had cases like that before at a criminal defense firm where people should really pay attention to that because a nurse had received felony charges. She had grabbed her family's medicines. She was a nurse. She put them all in one bottle, took off to Michigan. And when she got pulled over and they found multiple different types of things in one container, she knew what they were, but they didn't know what they were. She got arrested for felony charges.
We've got other things to talk about, but I want to hit this real quickly. So a person traveling, if they have pills in their possession, it better have the label on it. Is that the truth?
I have certain prescription drugs that are scheduled.
Okay.
Okay. I will not carry them in something that does not have my prescription, a sticker from one of my prescription bottles or in it.
Even
okay?
if it's an expired
Even
bottle.
if it's older, yeah, there's no expiration on those things, okay? But it says it's mine, and I can back it up. And sometimes I just also take photographs of my stinking bottles,
Okay.
okay? Because again, it can be just a defense, but still, look, I'm not supposed to share my drugs with you, okay? Whether
Correct.
it's pain pills or anything.
But if I'm taking you to a family function and you bring your pills with you and you accidentally leave them in my car and I get pulled over.
Then it'll be fun. I'll come get you out.
How many can you have one dose?
No.
No doses.
And which is interesting and I hadn't thought about it too much, but my wife likes to put out her pills in a pill thing for the week. Now there's no scheduled drugs in there, but still, it's like, what if that was a painkiller in there or something?
Did you say taking photos of the prescription, either the bottle or prescription, can help you if you're traveling and it's in, say, one of those
Well,
containers?
I think it shows you. I think it becomes discretionary with the deputy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think best bet is to not carry your prescription in something that is not labeled for you.
Can you ask the pharmacist for an additional bottle so that you can split your prescription between travel?
Never done that. Don't know why you couldn't, but I just saved my bottles. Okay, if you got the current bottle and last bottle, what the heck? There's no problem.
True.
But I also have some labels I've peeled off nice and easy and stuck on little plastic baggies.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's talk about this a little more. Again, if I had your pills in my car, and
not in a prescription bottle,
with your name on it, but it's in my possession,
they may want to talk to me and see if I asked you to pick them up for me. My wife picks up my prescriptions.
Okay. So the key is making sure that if I have those pills in my vehicle and it's your prescription, that your name's on it. I could probably get away with that.
Which means if I ever decide to get revenge on something, I just leave a pill somewhere. Call deputy.
Cover me on this. As long as I have your pills in my vehicle,
I think it's going to be discretionary, but I think the spidey sense that the deputy has is not going to go off too much.
Ooh, I mean, that's my brother.
That's right.
No, that's my wife.
Okay.
But without a label, I'm screwed, blued, and tattooed.
I think without a label, you got a big problem.
Well, my experience has been,
you got to understand,
and I'm talking about to my friends.
Having the prescription and having the story down that's correct is a great defense. It's an affirmative defense. The problem with affirmative defenses is that you have to be charged first. Okay? That becomes a defense, and it doesn't have to work. It should, but it doesn't always have to. I've not seen it not work when you show, that this is actually yours. It's current. It's not like you used to have a prescription. Now you bought some somewhere else and filled that same bottle up. Okay.
Well, I think it's important that people realize, do not carry your own pills or someone else's pills.
I don't recommend it.
That is not labeled.
I would make sure it's labeled.
All right, but I get pulled over and the cop says, I want to inspect your car.
The answer is no.
No. Well, we're going to do it anyhow.
The answer is no.
And then what happens?
Well, here's the thing. If you don't consent.
And I'm sorry, we saw that situation up in Jacksonville that made it all over the news. Gentleman sitting in his car, the officer said, get out of the car, and he refused.
I didn't say not to get out of the car.
Okay.
Pennsylvania VMEMS, everybody, if you've watched TikTok or YouTube or anything, you've heard that phrase, okay? They can get you out of the car.
So if they ask me to get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
I get out of the car.
Always cooperate with the police or law enforcement, right? But that doesn't mean you have to give consent.
So when they Ben, Dr. Ben, I love that. Dr. Ben, if they ask me, may I search the vehicle? The answer is no.
Right.
They're going to do it anyhow.
I do not consent to a search.
I do not consent to a search.
And where's the only place you can argue with law enforcement?
Not out there, not outside.
Court.
In court.
Only court. Okay.
Okay, I mean that's the little.
If
that's
they
pretty
search
important.
anyway, that's fine.
Because they can't use that in court.
If they did not have probable cause to search,
We had probable cause because we suspected that you had.
Okay, probable cause is a specific thing. Okay, just because my spidey sense went off doesn't mean you have probable cause.
Okay.
Again, that spidey sense may be perfectly valid and show something that come up because, again, your training experience, you kind of know if you're trained well, but that spidey sense is opposed to the Fourth Amendment. So you got to have probable cause. Now, a smart deputy will figure out where to find the probable cause.
Okay.
Okay. And they can hold you up for a little bit and get a dog there. If a dog alerts, well, that gives them probable cause.
Okay.
Now, they're not supposed to hold you up longer than it takes to write the ticket. And the other thing is, once they hand you the signed ticket, that stop is pretty much over.
What if they ask you not to leave?
They probably need to have probable cause at that point.
Are you just going to ignore them if you feel like don't have probable cause?
I'm not recommending you ignore law enforcement.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think speeding off's a good idea. High speed fleeing and eluding is considered a second-degree felony. And that's a 15-year felony.
Yeah, that would suck.
It does suck.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thought that was pretty informative.
Yeah.
Not that you or I are ever going to get pulled over for DOI, but, you know.
Oh, we can get pulled over.
We could.
We may not be impaired. You may not blow over 0.08 or 0.0 anything.
I mean, unless vitamin water makes you blow. Other than that, I'm pretty safe.
Does that scanner go off automatically on the police car when they pull up behind you?
For alcohol?
No, the scanner on the
for the tags?
For the tags.
Well, let's say this.
Do they have to hit a button?
I had a client who his license had expired in 2008, and he needed a doctor's exam to get it back. He didn't do that. He's a very good driver, a very careful driver. And it was either 2024 or 2025 early, he got pulled over. Why? Tag reader. Okay. There are multiple cameras on most cars. They find a lot of stuff. And here's the thing. Your tag being expired or your tag being bad, or, comes back to you're driving a blue truck and it comes back to a red Pinto, that's going to be a problem.
That's going to be a big problem.
Okay. They will pull you over. They have probable cause to pull you over at that point.
And I would hope that they would.
Okay. So there's a good reason for it. I mean, they got tag readers on all kinds of places. It's like if you drive through the express lanes without the tolls, if you drive through the tolls without the proper stuff, they've got you.
You get that nice little ticket in the mail with your driver's license. I mean, with your tag on a
and
picture.
A nice picture of you driving.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've got the technology. So I would think it'd be terrible not to use it because, again, there's no Fourth Amendment violation there. It's not
right.
It's not search or seizure because you displayed it. Right. I put it out there. You can do with it what you want. So, but you kind of have to put it out there since you're driving on the road. So but I still think it's amazing how much is found with tag readers. Because, the registered driver of this car is not licensed. So, it kind of tells you that, before you drive somebody's car, maybe you need to check.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
That'd be a fun way to get somebody back is put them in your car with the wrong tag on it and see what happens.
You have a sick sense of humor,
I do.
But we love you. All right. We're going to talk about something else. And I appreciate all this information. I wanted to talk about mortgages. And specifically, I want to start with seller-held mortgages.
Okay.
All right. Right now, the marketplace is an interesting one. Okay.
It's a little down.
It's a buyer's market. Markets ebb and flow, and it just happens to be a buyer's market. A lot of sellers are offering seller-held financing.
Of course.
Whether they be wrap mortgages or, whatever. What does a seller need to concern himself with when it comes to seller-held mortgages and notes? What does a buyer need to concern themselves with? Anything particular that you think of?
Assuming that you're not you're not like Flagler Estates selling a whole subdivision with some kind of a mortgage system, okay? That you're a normal person with 1 or 2 or 3, 4 houses or something like that, and you sell one of them and you take seller financing, there's no prohibition for that. Okay.
Interest rate?
Well, you need to be within the usury,
which is 18%.
18%.
Okay. What's criminal usury?
25 is one kind of criminal usury where you can't even get your money back.
Your principal.
Over 18%, you can't get the interest. Over
Okay.
25%, you can't get the principal, and over 45%, you get to go to prison.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. Called loan sharking.
All right. So does a seller need to have what's the difference between a seller held mortgage, purchase money mortgage versus just some guy coming up to a friend and say, man, I need you to loan me $20,000?
Under that scenario, nothing.
Okay.
Except this, a purchase money mortgage does have some benefit as far as if you ever have to try to foreclose. Purchase money is kind of special.
Okay.
Because it was especially to the seller, because you gave your real estate for this note and a security. Certain defects would not be a problem. They could be overcome because it's purchase money. But if I have $50,000 sitting in a CD doing nothing for me, and somebody,
let's change it up a little bit.
Sure.
Let's say that I have a gentleman who wants to buy a home, their primary residence, and they find somebody out there they know that's willing to loan them the money to buy this house. What does that lender, what does that person who doesn't normally do a lot of mortgages, what do they need to be concerned themselves with if they're the ones that's going to be providing that mortgage to the buyer?
that the mortgage is legally it's legal.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing: if you make mortgage loans for compensation, okay, I'm not talking about interest.
Why
okay?
not?
Well, that's time
That's
value of
the
money.
That's the
right.
compensation.
But you're not making the loans for a fee.
Oh, in other words, you're not charging a broker fee.
You're not charging a fee for arranging the loan.
Okay.
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 If you're loaning your own funds,
Okay. Okay.
your own investment funds,
Okay.
and you do not hold yourself out to the public as a mortgage lender,
I'm just a regular old Joe Schmo who's willing to loan money for the acquisition of this house.
and you didn't try, it's somebody you know. It's not.
What if it's somebody I don't know?
Then
What if Rusty, you came to me and said, "Hey man, Ben, my buddy, is buying this house, and I hear you got a lot of extra funds later on. You just sold your business. Would you mind helping my buddy out and loaning him, $300,000? House is worth $400,000. He's putting down $100,000 of his own money. Hey, would you loan him $300,000?"
the only person that could get in trouble for that arrangement would be you.
The lender.
No,
No. Again,
the person who arranged the loan.
you did. He's your buddy.
Right.
He came to you and says, "Man, do you know anybody? Hey, man, that's Steve Collins. I know he sold a business. I hear he's got millions. Let me just go ask him. I met him at an event, and he seemed like a nice guy."
I would be very careful about that scenario.
Why?
Because you might be considered a mortgage.
You're not getting paid?
I don't care. That's a little different. If you loan money to people that you know, okay, that they're not putting yourself out there as a mortgage lender.
Okay. So who's at risk in that scenario?
The broker, the person acting as the loan arranger.
You're not getting paid.
I don't care if you get paid or not. That's your problem.
I mean, you got documented backing up facts on this thing
Yeah.
because you're just being a good Samaritan.
Yeah. And sometimes good Samaritans break the law accidentally.
So you cannot suggest.
I can say, hey, I got a friend who needs to get a loan. Why don't you go talk to him?
Okay.
That'd be fine.
All right. That'd be fine.
Okay. But
Now, what do I have to be worried about if I now have millions of dollars, okay, and I'm liking this idea? I mean, I just lent Ben some money at 12%.
my recommendation
Mm-hmm.
is go call one of our mortgage broker friends and say, hey, I got some money I'd like to loan out. Give me some loans.
Why? And I know the answer, but I want you to share
The
with us
best
why.
answer is,
I mean, we have Bob and Juliet Mortgage Market.
Right.
Perfect example.
that's who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Number one, they vet people.
Okay.
They have to follow some rules, and those rules are really there to protect the borrower.
Okay.
But some of those rules help protect the lender too.
Okay. And I want to use Ben as the scenario. Ben's the borrower. I'm the lender. What do I have to worry about? Why would I need a Bob or Julie?
If you're not okay, I think you don't need one if you know each other.
Well, how many loans have I done?
I don't care how many loans you've done.
What if I've done 5 loans?
I don't care.
And now
Are you holding yourself out to be a lender?
No.
Okay. You don't have business cards that say you're an investor? You don't have an office where you do those things?
No.
Outside the title
I
business?
don't.
Okay.
But people come to me and they want to borrow money. They heard I had a bunch of money laying around. So I'm starting to, I don't mind loaning money, but I don't have my cards that say lender. I'm just Joe Blow, Steve Collins.
Okay, there's an exemption.
Okay.
In the law that exempts people who make mortgage loans using their own funds for their own investment, provided they do not hold themselves out to the public as being in the mortgage lending business. That means you don't advertise, solicit, maintain an office for that purpose. You don't represent to the public that you're in that business. Okay. You're only making loans to people that you know or people that approach you directly.
Okay.
Hey, Stephen, I heard you do some mortgage loans.
This is interesting to me because I thought that the rule was that if I were lending money, even though I didn't hold myself out to be a lender, that if I did 5 or more, that I would be deemed a lender.
Where'd you get that number?
I don't know. You told me.
No, I didn't. Okay, so
are you sure?
The words in the statute mean things.
Oh, I
okay. Now,
statutes mean things.
If you read the statute, first it tells almost anything you do if you're doing a loan, you're a lender. Okay. Then there's some exemptions.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't know about the exemptions. I just thought that if I did 5 or more is what I thought the number. You're going to tell me it's 3 or more.
Well, okay. So if you're doing them a lot, you may get a reputation. Is that holding yourself out? I don't think so. Okay.
That's interesting. I still think you're better off going to a Bob or Julie to say, just protect me.
And that's, number one, you don't have to worry about the disclosure. If you start doing a lot of stuff, you may have some disclosure requirements.
Okay, I've done 8 loans. I've done people gone to me and I just, here's the money. Some title company give me title policy. They did the note mortgage. I'm good.
But that title policy didn't insure you against violation of the
But could I violate the CFPB if I do more? I mean, if I'm just loaning money.
There's not, okay.
Am I required to do a truth in lending disclosure? Am I required to pull a credit report? Am I required to have appraisals? I mean,
you wouldn't be required to do a credit report or pull or get an appraisal because you're loaning your own money.
Okay.
You can protect yourself or don't. We don't care.
But what about the APR disclosure, the annual percentage rate?
I think the threshold. Well, it's weird because when we have the closing disclosure form, it has all that stuff in it.
Right.
We don't have a separate truth in lending sheet.
Right.
There are times when I do documents for mortgage market where if we're not doing a CD or closing disclosure and it's residential of some sort, we will do a separate truth in lending disclosure.
Okay.
Just to be on the safe side. The bottom line is these are to protect the consumers and also to protect the industry a little bit.
All right. I'm going to change it up. Ben comes to you. It says, man, I feel snookered, whatever. I need you to do a foreclosure defense for me. The Steve Collins is trying to foreclose on my home. I put $100,000 down. He loaned me $300,000. It was 12%. I need help. You find out Steve Collins has gotten a reputation for lending money, but he doesn't hold himself out to be a lender. What's your foreclosure defense?
Well, first of all,
what are you going to go after? What are you going to try to fight?
First of all, I want to go after the APR first.
Okay, and your percentage rate.
Yeah, and if it was refinanced, did you get the 3-day right to cancel?
Okay, it wasn't a refinance; it was purchase money.
Purchase money. Well, there is no right to cancel on that.
Right.
If APR is under 18%, I'm looking for other defects that are probably not. They're not going to be there.
what disclosures would I have?
I'm not too worried about
required. So
on a purchase money like that. I'm not too worried about disclosures.
Okay, then let's change it up. It was a refi. Ben came to me. He owed somebody else some money, or he just wanted to, I don't know, buy an investment property back in Ohio, and I gave him $300,000.
Well, if the refinance, is it considered a Section 32 loan, where it's a high interest rate loan?
12%.
Could be, depending on what the market is. Okay.
Okay, well, today. Or, well, I did the loan 4 years ago.
Well, 4 years ago, if you did it 12% and the going rate was, what, 4? That's 8% more than the market. So you might be, and if you've got any kind of loan fees in there, and certain closing costs are considered.
Well, I have a title company I'm required to use, and they charge a settlement fee.
I'm just saying,
and I actually have an attorney that I use that I require to do all my paperwork.
Okay, so there might be some. You may be over the Section 32 limit, which is fine, but you got to do the disclosures. And
what if I didn't?
Well, then your right to cancel doesn't start unless it's been 3 years.
Okay, say it's been under 3 years.
It's been under 3 years. Well,
what's your defense? What are you going to do to defend Ben against me, the lender?
I may not have a defense, but
okay.
I'm going to look at certain things.
Okay.
Okay, and if they certain things line up, and I've fought these things before, and had different varying success, but there's no free lunch. You still have to pay the loan off. It's just without interest.
Well, that's a big deal, Rusty.
It can be, but
especially if it's 12%.
But the borrower has to be able to pay the loan off.
I get it.
To rescind.
I got it.
Okay. You know, when we do a regular refinance closing and somebody wants to waive the 3-day right to cancel, I'm like, we don't need to waive it. You get your 3-day notice, 3-day right to cancel. But if you take the money and you want to cancel, you got to give it back. Well, that money's probably spent.
They could get a refinance. They can get the money from somebody else. If maybe they have a better deal out there and whatever. I think that people who have the ability to lend money, it's a good way for them to earn an income.
Yeah,
mortgages.
There's higher rate, there's higher risk at times, but yeah.
I mean, I think in Florida, if you're a first lien position as a mortgage holder, I think you're in a pretty good position so long as you've been careful about your values.
Right. If you're good
the
on
values
the
the values are there, I think it's a safe way to loan money. But I think what I would counsel people, and I've been counseling people this incorrectly, by the way. I've been counseling people that I've been telling them that it's fine that you're loaning money, but if you get more than 5 loans out there, and I thought it was 5.
In a lifetime? Or a year?
A year. I mean, any one time you're holding more than 5 loans, you're deemed as a lender. You're like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and those other lenders. And that's what I've been telling them. I mean, when I've been asked questions, I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just giving my opinion. So my counsel has always been, go to Bob and Julie at Mortgage Market.
I think that's a good idea.
Let them take care of representing the check, checking all the boxes and crossing the T's, dotting the I's.
The exemption as it is in the statute.
Okay. I thought you just did.
The following persons are exempt from the regulations for registration, which is...
But see, that's the state.
That's right.
But you got federal.
Right, but this is
and the two don't always align.
They don't always align, but who controls us?
Depends on who's in the White House.
Some things are state and some are federal, but this is state.
I think federal will come in and kick your nads if you're not careful.
Well,
okay, read the statute.
A person who, as the seller of his or own property, receives one or more mortgages in a purchase money transaction. Seller held finance. Exempt. Now, I know on the real estate contracts, there's a form for seller held financing, and it talks about safe harbor. Again, we don't want to argue about it, so we're going to take the high road or the low road, however you want to say it. Okay. A person who makes only non-residential mortgage loans and sells loans only to institutional investors. How's that for weird? That's something you can do.
Say that one more time.
You make non-residential mortgage loans.
Commercial loans. But you sell the loans only to institutional investors. Wow.
Okay.
They're exempt.
A individual making And it's interesting. It says individual, and I don't know if individual is the same as person under the statute with this, because person can be a company.
Okay.
Individual, I think, means a human. An individual making or acquiring a mortgage loan using his or her own funds for his or her own investment. I don't think companies are his or her. Okay. His or her own investment, and who does not hold himself or herself out to the public as being in the mortgage lending business. Then it says, as used in this section, the term holding himself or herself out to the public as being in the mortgage lending business includes any of the following: representing to the public through advertising or other means of communicating or providing information, including the use of business cards, stationery, a whole list of stuff, that such individual can or will perform the activities of a mortgage lender. Soliciting in a manner that would lead the intended audience to reasonably believe that such individuals in the business of performing mortgage lending activities.
Okay.
Maintaining a commercial business establishment at which or premises from which such individual regularly performs the activities.
Most people we know, Rusty, don't do any of that stuff.
Right.
So they're exempt. So when
as long as they're doing it right.
What? Oh, well.
Okay, but people get sloppy.
They do.
Okay, that's the problem. People get sloppy. So, and also, since we wrote the laws, the lawyers are also exempt.
Of course.
If they're doing it but they're not, they can't be in the business of making mortgage loans.
Okay.
They're doing it in part of representing either a borrower or a lender. They can help put those together. So, but that's the rules.
What, so, and this just goes to show you I've been telling people wrong. I really thought after 5 loans, or you say 3, and we were arguing about that earlier.
Yeah.
And now, so you're basically taking that and just throwing it out the window.
I am throwing it out the window, but I mean, you can, now here's what you got to know though. Those exemptions, you must prove.
Okay.
It's not on the state's, the state does not have a burden to prove that you don't have the exemption. It's your burden to prove that you do.
Okay. Another thing, benefit of doing seller-held financing. Capital gains.
It can be, yes.
Because you can spread your capital gains over
right
years, the life of the mortgage.
You can, yeah. But your interest is income.
But that's good.
What happens if they pay off early?
Well, then you have the capital gains on that principal that you receive.
Right. And there are people that will, do you know whether you can prevent a payoff legally?
You cannot prevent a payoff legally.
Wrong.
Bull crap.
How much you want to bet?
Listen, you tell me what you've got. There ain't no way. There ain't no way.
Yeah.
How?
Well, you can have people do
just
prepayment charges.
Tell me how.
There are loans out there that prevent prepayment. What you have to do, you can buy an annuity to substitute for the collateral so they get the same payment, because it's the cash flow they're wanting.
You got to stop watching TikTok.
It's not TikTok. Crap. It's not TikTok. I never believed this either. Okay. But I found out that is something you can actually have a mortgage loan that does not allow for payoff. Now, you can move the security to something else. Okay, like a bond or an annuity.
That is bull crap. Where did this happen?
There are commercial loans out there.
200 years ago?
No.
Commercial loans where they prohibit you to pay it off.
Right. You can substitute something else, but they want the cash flow with the interest for a certain period of time. That is the deal.
Wow.
They're making the loan for the cash flow.
All right. What's the minimum interest rate you're required to charge somebody?
0.
What does IRS think about that? Or do we have any documented proof that IRS has?
I don't have documented proof, but here's the thing. Again, if you're selling the property, if you're selling $100,000 piece of property for $120 and taking financing,
I
at
get
0%,
that.
then
I get that. That's different though, because that's negotiation itself. But let's go back to the Ben Steve Collins being the lender. Ben's my bud. I just want to loan the money at 0% interest.
I'd like 0%, please.
Then I want you to be my friend.
Okay, but what if I did that? Well, I'm like, Ben, dude, I don't need the money. I don't care. I will give you the money for free. Are there consequences with the IRS if I loan money for free when it's not seller-held financing? And he has to look it up. Our show's too short for you to be looking that stuff up and reading on the show.
Okay. The idea is not to disguise gifts and stuff as low interest rate loans. Okay.
Meaning?
It just says the magic box says under the IRS, imputed interest is the theoretical interest that the tax code assumes a lender collected on a below market loan, even if no interest was actually charged. This rule prevents taxpayers from avoiding taxes by disguising gifts, compensation, or dividends as low interest or interest-free loans.
So they're going to assume that we did something else behind the scenes if we give zero interest loans.
Right. And if you can,
I'd have to prove that, but the burden of proof's on me.
Right.
So what's your counsel? I want to give Ben a gift.
You want to give him a gift, then
I want to do zero interest loan. What would your counsel be to me as the attorney?
Well, don't do it.
Then what interest rate should I charge him? I want to give him the lowest interest rate possible.
There is a applicable the IRS publishes applicable federal rate. It might be a way to do it. I think you might want to get tax advice, and I'm not a tax person.
Give me counsel. I need to know. How much would you?
I'd find out what it is.
Okay. What do you want me to charge him?
If the applicable federal rate is 3%.
3%.
Charge them 3%.
Okay.
But that changes every month.
Okay. So you can
1%. Make it 1%.
He wants 1%. Rusty, can we give him 1%?
Is that too low?
Well, we have to end the show. This has been Land Title Talk. Appreciate you listening in. Again, you can text us your questions or comments at 904-501-4481, and we'll address those questions on the show.
Annual rate right now is 4.82.
Can't help himself, can he?
Nope.
So I guess it had to be 4% there.
4 or 5%, yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Dang it.
But you can reach me, Steve Collins, at Land Title of America at 904-797-9600. You can also call me my personal cell phone, 904-501-4481. We love answering questions. We'd love to help you. You can also reach Rusty at the Law Office of J. Russell Collins, affectionately known as Rusty Law, at
904-829-6600.
He is not looking at the screen because he needs to look up the number. It is 904-829-6600. He just can't help himself. He's still reading on this IRS requirements. He's such a nerd. Look at that.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're going to keyboards. All right. ADD. And then, Ben, how do they reach you?
Same thing. 904-829-6600.
Matter of fact, I would encourage you that when you call in, you don't ask for Rusty, you ask for Ben.
Yes.
If you have any brains.
If you're intelligent enough to do so. And then we have Julie that works for Land Title. We always appreciate her and helping us here on the show. Thank you very much for listening. We look forward to seeing you next week.